Welcome to Let's Talk Special Economic Zones, raising awareness of the impact of SEZs on people, planet, profits, and governance with Ainsley Brown.
Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown, and in today's topic, we're going to cover sovereign wealth funds and SEZ developments. Now, there are several sovereign wealth funds around the world. Sovereign wealth funds are, in essence, an investment vehicle set up by a country in order to carry out investments, and this is done at a commercial level. So it's not investments like investments in education, building schools and building hospitals or things like that. It is no, they're going to build a shopping mall and charge rent, collect rent, or if they're going to build an airport, the fees from the airport are done and sustained. It's just like using a pension fund that invests of their funds. It's similar in nature to that. And zones have become very much a target of these sovereign wealth funds, and there are many, as I said, around the world. Some are much bigger in terms of a bigger war chest than others, like the one from Abu Dhabi, for example, and Dubai, oil-rich states, the Saudi Arabia as well also has a very large war chest. The one in Rwanda is smaller, but nevertheless very effective. And Rwanda is largely inwardly facing, so they invest a lot more inside their own country, which is also a great strategy as well. So sovereign wealth funds represent a very interesting area of investment because you can use them to um, inwardly invest, and also you should be, or many countries will be trying to attract them to come to their country to invest uh, in different projects that make sense for those sovereign wealth funds to go in. And what these sovereign wealth funds also invest in is often shaped not just by commercial terms. That's number one, though, because they want to make back money. But there's also local politics, local policy direction. So if it is something that can make money and is in that country's interest or supports their foreign policy or things like that, then definitely though that's a match made in heaven. That's thing that gets married very, very nicely. So if you're into sustainable development, investing in a solar farm or a wind farm, that makes sense, right? Things like that. But in terms of zones, globally, it's increasing where these sovereign wealth funds are looking at zones to invest in zones. Either they're looking at the zone itself to build out itself, like to create a zone from scratch, or they're looking to buy into an existing zone, either buy the zone in its entirety or a portion, so they become equity partners in that zone. Uh, or as well, they using those same models, they also do it inwardly. Saudi Arabia, for example, under its Vision 2030, has been investing in its own zones of late. Uh, Rwanda, for example, has also invested in its own domestic zones, uh, so that the sovereign wealth fund is a partial owner within the zone or within their zone program, or certain zones within that program. So it's a good strategy for countries to deploy, both attracting them from particularly countries with a huge war chest, and also using it as a means to stimulate investments or development within your country. But again, the number one thing is the sovereign wealth fund must run on commercial terms. Otherwise, you run the risk of running out of money. You run the risk of feeding corruption if that's an issue. But if it's run on commercial terms, even though the certain investments might be guided by other policy initiatives or policy rationale within a country, it still comes down to ensuring that money is made. In addition to that, it functions as a means to expand a way for countries to make money. So it's not just taxes that they raise money from, but they actually raise money from investments, and investments either in the very country itself or investments in another country, and then the money is repatriated to them in terms of fees that are paid. All right. So if you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to see me do a particular topic, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get right back to you. Bye for now.